More with this is 99.8.
So you're agreeing that's not 100% the word of God?
Okay, would you accept that within scribal error ratios you can get a 0.1% error?
This is the point I'm trying to make.
Okay,
the point I'm trying to make is you're picking and choosing. Sometimes you pick Septuagint, that's the word of God for this verse. Then you pick Masoretic text, that's the word of God. Then you pick Samaritan one. So you're copying and pasting from different versions. So you haven't got one version that's 100% the word of God.
For me, I'm trying to use my mind rationally, not come up with my own conclusions. I think the safest version is the Hebrew version, right? And I think the safest version, this is the Hebrew text.
That's based on which?
That's the Hebrew text.
Based on which Hebrew manuscripts is that based on?
Which is based on the Hebrew manuscripts. You can't say to me which Hebrew manuscripts when it's based on the Hebrew manuscripts.
This says the traditional Hebrew text. That's Masoretic text.
That's the Masoretic text.
So this is so you agree with Masoretic text?
Okay, let's bring Jerome. Let Jerome answer.
You agree in the 11th century manuscript. Shall we confirm that? That is the 11th century.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
It was a Russian.
Yeah, earlier you said you don't believe in the KJV, which is also based on the 11th century manuscript, the Masoretic
That's why
text.
I've got the Greek.
No, like my brother Zakir said.
I think we're agreeing with
hold
each
on.
other.
Like my brother Zakir said, you need to be consistent with your principle.
Okay.
Do you believe in the Masoretic text as being authoritative or not?
I answer you.
Yes, please.
Okay, I have three. Can I answer this? I have three options. We're talking about the Torah.
No, this one.
Let's
talk about this.
Okay, we're talking about the Torah. I have three options. One is the Septuagint, which is 300 BC. The other is the Hebrew text, and the other
Which is what
the
time?
Masoretic
Wait,
text.
which is which time?
I think this is 100 BC.
No, the one you got in hand there
It's 100
is
BC.
based on the Masoretic
100
text.
AD.
Traditional Hebrew text, that's Masoretic.
That's the Masoretic
Can I
text.
explain?
That's the 11th century.
Can I have a look at that book,
Have
please?
you heard of the Vulgate? Yeah, please do. Have you
Let's
heard
not
of
go
the
into
Vulgate?
the Latin
No,
now.
this is
Come
really
on.
important.
You're all over the place.
No. Jerome had to make the same decision we're
We need to
discussing.
call it. We need to decide
I'm gonna
which
ring this
Hebrew.
one out.
Wait,
Hashim.
we need to decide which Hebrew version you think is authoritative.
The one that was in existence
See.
at the time of the compilation.
not this.
Of
No,
the
read the back
Bible.
of this.
It's not this.
No, it was this.
Read the
This
back
is
of
11th
this.
century.
No, it isn't the
You know what they're
11th
saying?
This is not the
This is what they're
Masoretic.
saying. They're saying that they've reconstructed this, going through different interpretations, different manuscripts. So what they've done is,
put this to bed.
just say there's 20 manuscripts, they're copying and pasting between them to
can't
make
have a-
one
you
word
two
of
can't
God.
have a- yeah,
So,
you two can't
so
have a
you know
conversation.
like when we're asked, the Muslims are asked, which part of this is corrupt and which
Can I
part
give
is
you a
not.
coherent
You
response?
yourself are copying and pasting and choosing what's corrupt and what's
Dear
not.
friends, can I give you a coherent response?
I believe in
In
the 11th century.
around 370, Jerome had to make a decision on when he was compiling the authentic Christian scriptures to go for the Septuagint or the Hebrew text which was in existence. You will find this Hebrew text in the Vulgate, which is 400, which still predates Muhammad by 180 years.
But you got an issue.
Is that corrupt?
You've
as
got an
well?
issue.
Is that corrupt?
You see, Jerome, when it came to picking the Hebrew text, he still kept the part in Isaiah 7:14 about a virgin, correct?
Okay, right.
He got that from the Greek.
Yeah.
So what they're doing, what the Christians are doing is they're using the Hebrew text, but wherever there's an issue, they jump into Latin, Ethiopian, Septuagint, cutting and
What are
pasting
you
one version.
extrapolating from that one verse that completely detonates? Well, give me plenty of it. I
What-
need
what
to
am-
see
no,
so many
no.
examples.
I can't give
One
more.
or two.
What I'm trying to say is, you're coming to the Muslim saying, show me which part of this is corrupt, which part is pure. That's what you said. But then
Can I
you
rephrase-
yourself,
can I
Christians,
rephrase that?
you're going to 20 different manuscripts in 20 different languages, and you yourself are deciding, for this verse, the Latin is correct. For this verse, the Greek is correct, and you're turning it into one Bible. So you're doing it yourself.
No, what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to get my brain to work. There's so many smithereens of things flying. I wanted to avoid all of that, and let's say you're correct. Actually, I'm not going to use this because it's corrupt.
You told me
and let me.
until now.
hang on.
No, I think,
the
no,
authority
I believe, no, shall I tell you what I believe?
That's a
Can
complete
I
U-turn.
finish what I'm going to say? Let's assume, and even these early Christians, they got it all wrong. This is corrupt and this is corrupt. Okay, now you bring me your version of the.
No,
Christian
I don't need to.
Bring me your version.
I told you,
Can I hold this in my hand?
And you bring me your version of the Injil, and we'll get them down, we'll examine them, and the one which has the credentials which are the strongest will accept, and the rest will throw away.
Can I hold this in my hand and just make a
You
statement?
can, of course you can. You can have the whole pile.
I am saying Christians should follow this properly, because if you understand this properly, you'll have no choice but to accept Islam. Because if you read this properly and don't add your own spin on it, You will believe God is one and one person.
Which
There's
version
enough
should they
evidence
read?
in there.
Which version
Whatever
should they read?
version you bring, there's
Any
enough truth
version.
to
Hang
bring
on.
you to Islam.
So will
Enough
you
truth to
flip
bring
me
you to
over
Islam.
Septuagint?
Actually, you know
What
which
about the
version they should read?
Masoretic? What about the Masoretic?
All of it can bring you to Islam.
They should read the
All
Quran.
contain Tawheed. All contain the prophecies of Prophet Muhammad and Nabi.
I say the
So you have
same
enough
as
there to
you.
become
I say
Muslim.
the same as you to bring you to Christianity.
How? Why should we go to polytheism
Okay, look.
when you believe
You know what?
a man has
Shall we
got
finish
right?
on this?
I'm going to move on now.
All right, can I just read you one verse?
okay.
Because I really enjoyed it. Should I tell you what? It was a different kind of conversation to those who reject Abrahamic faith. And I wish to God there was more cooperation amongst Abrahamic religions in the face of abortion, homosexuality, transsexuals, all of these satanic things that are going on. And while they're going on, we're talking about the Torah, the jots and the tittles. There's a pro-life march, anti-abortion march, and I'm very strongly pro-life. I think abortion is murder. And I'm going to go on it. I'm going to take my family. I wish to God that Muslims would be there in their droves as well to witness to the gospel of love.
All that is important, but for us, salvation is even more important than that.
By their
Because
fruits
you
you'll
can
know.
believe in all that while you're
By
alive,
their
yes.
fruits
But
you'll
one
know.
day when you're going to be facing God, and you tell Him that I believe in the Trinity, which was never advocated in the Bible,
Hashim, is that
then
a
you're going to have a
barrier?
problem.
Hashim, is that a barrier to cooperating
No,
in
I'm not.
righteousness?
I said all that is good. Did you not hear?
Did you agree? Do you agree I gave justice to the text of the Quranic ayahs that you cited? That I explained them clearly. That they're not saying what you think they're
I
saying.
think if me and you sat down with a cup of coffee on our own, we could probably go a little bit further.
Yeah, when you're ready
Because
to treat me,
quite-
I'll meet you.
Yeah, I will. I'll treat you.
Cappuccino.
The dates and those. Can I relieve you with one verse? Because you mentioned about Isaiah, okay?
Isaiah 53.
Yeah, Isaiah 52.
It's coming.
Okay, no.
Isaiah 53 is coming now.
No, hang on. Okay, the last.
By the way, do you know who I
Hang
believe
on,
that's
can I-
talking
can I
about?
say- For he exposed himself to death and was numbered among the sinners, whereas he bore the guilt of many and made intercession for sinners. Who is that?
Okay.
He bore the
Okay.
guilt of many.
Okay.
That wasn't Muhammad.
Okay. See now
Bore the
look.
guilt
This is
of
what
many.
Christians
I
do.
thought you were going now. I thought you were going now.
You asked me a question.
I know,
Why not?
of course you
Now,
did,
Isaiah what?
the last verse of
53.
Isaiah
It's
53.
saturated with
Now, what the
Messianic
Christian
prophecy.
says, and they don't realize, with all due respect, the answer to what they're saying is in the actual verse they're
Hashim,
citing.
could you hold those? I'm gonna-
It says,
Thank you.
and he was numbered among the sinners, whereas he bore the guilt of many and made intercession for sinners. Now, the last line explains how he bore the sins. He made intercession
Take
for the
these two
sinners.
first, these two
In fact, if you go to Jewish commentaries, they say this is speaking about Moses, this verse. Not all of it.
That's because they reject
Why?
the Messiah. That's
No.
the Masoretic text.
No.
Which is
A
false
lot of
Quranic
there's
text.
some that believe it's about Davidic Messiah as well. So when it says that the servant bore the sins of many, the answer is given in the very verse on how he made intercession for the sinners. That's how he bore the sins, which is why the Jews say this is talking about Moses, that verse. So the response is
hang on,
there.
Moses was numbered among he bore the guilt of many. Moses
By
bore the
interceding
guilt
on their
of many.
behalf, that's what the word says.
No, and made intercession.
Yeah,
Not-
that's how Hebrew parallelism, it gives more information on it. That's why go read some rabbinic commentaries and you'll see that for
but
yourself.
it also, my righteous servant makes the many righteous. It's their punishment that he bears.
No.
This is the same verse.
You know what? You know when the prophets among the
Should we
people.
do this next week? Because you've got to go. You know, God bless you. We say peace be with you. Salam alaikum as
wa
well.
alaikum.
And Hashim, that was a good one. I
pleasure again.
appreciate that. Yeah.
This is all this.
Much better than the last time when you were firing the
It was.
Christians.
I thought you were chucking me out of your pub. He got me and he slung me out of
Actually,
his
me and
pub.
him were
And I
earlier.
don't even drink.
Me and him earlier were defending the Abrahamic faiths against that guy standing there.
That man could rob souls from God, and it was not good. It was not good. Anyway, see, this is where we work together for Abrahamic righteousness. God bless.
Let me treat you to cappuccino. Come on.
Who's this?
Oh yeah, this is brother.
You shall be saved. That is the gospel. Amen. We don't need a church. We don't need a pastor. We don't need I'm around you. We don't need any of them. Just come to Jesus. Confess with your mouth and you'll be saved. Hallelujah. That's the gospel. Stop your church. I believe Jesus.